3:30 demonstration. I'm Dean. I'll be your gold boy this afternoon. What we're doing here, demonstrate a really important, dangerous, but very exciting job that somebody was doing back in the 1860s. That person had a job, and they were called the mine blacksmith. Worked for the mine. Don't work down the mine, I work for the mine. A very important job of purifying or cleaning the gold that comes out of the ground. Wherever you find gold around the world, whether you find it here in Ballarat or in your hometown, when you get gold straight out of the ground, sorry to say, but it won't be pure. Pure gold is what we call 24 carat. Can't get 24 carat in the ground. Natural gold always has impurities in it. My job is to remove those. The gold that they're finding here in Ballarat is 22 carat gold. 92% gold, the rest made up of impurities. Things like silver, copper, iron. But you can also have nickel, lead, zinc, other metals, and they're different depending on where you are around the world. If I can remove those impurities, I can turn the 22 carat gold into 24 carat gold. Then we can go and sell it and get a better price. That is why we do this. The way I do it is quite simple. Take the gold up to a temperature so hot that it becomes a liquid. It melts. When in liquid form, you can remove those impurities, and then you're left with nothing but gold. But before I can do this, the gold has to be found. Now I'm going to give you a very, very quick history lesson. 1851, they discovered the gold here in Ballarat. Well, they knew it was here. That's when it was announced. 1851. For 10 years, people came and went from all over the world looking for gold. A lot of gold here on the surface. But at 1861 now, the mining companies who employ me are setting up here, and they're choosing Ballarat because we have the best gold in the world. It's 22 carat. We have so much of it, but they're not looking for it. They're quartz mining companies. They're mining this rock because there's gold inside of it. Those nuggets are becoming harder to find. We know gold is also down into the earth, and in particular inside this rock here. Quartz mining, difficult though. Long way into the ground before you come across the quartz that bears the gold. On average, 100 metres. Now, in those first 10 years, we can't dig a 100 metre hole, but we can now because we've got equipment. It's been shipped in from England. We've got steam power. We've got a contracted workforce. We're working 24 hours around the clock. We can get down that far. So they do. And they spend months digging down until they hit that quartz rock. But it's a piece of that 10 times the size of this building. It's 100 metres underground. It's loaded with gold. We need to mine it. So we drill it. We blast it. We chip bits off it. Pieces like this are brought to the surface. Now to extract the gold, we have to process that rock. And that happens in the building next door, which you can do tours through. That's called the battery house. And in there, fancy name for a rock crushing plant. In there, those rocks are smashed under hammers until that rock becomes dust. Now inside that dust there are pieces of gold. If anyone's been down the creek today, you'll know water's your best friend. So they wash it. They've got specially designed washing tables in there that have got grooves on them. They wash the whole lot away, all the crushed rock, and the gold gets caught on the table. And there it is, that's what it looks like. Just like this sand. Tiny, tiny pieces. They are so small you wouldn't even call them nuggets. At the moment it's 22 carat. They bring that into me and I put it into one of these two cups. 1860s, use this one. That's all we have. It's made of clay, use it once. Today, carbon graphite silicon. I can get about 400 of these demonstrations out of that one. So, let's just pretend this is gold. It's come in from next door. It goes straight into the crucible. Tiny, tiny gold pieces. 22 carat. On top of that, a little bit of borax powder to catch the things I don't want. Straight into the furnace. And in those days, they'd cook it for 2 hours. Today I do it in 10 minutes. better equipment. We take it up to gold's melting temperature, 1064 degrees. Just under 2000 Fahrenheit. 1064 degrees. When that happens, the elements in here, the gold, silver, copper, iron, they melt. They start to separate. The gold settles to the bottom because it's the heaviest, while all the rubbish rises to the top. Now already on top was that powder. So they stick to it. And I end up with a dirty brown crust of things I don't want floating on top of pure gold, because the impurities that were in the gold are now sitting on the gold. We can scrape them off and throw them away. Now the other thing in there is gold. So we pour it into a pure gold bar. When it's cool enough to touch, I'll give it back to the owners of the company. They sell it. Then they bring in more gold. We do it all again. Alright. Here we go. This is what you've come to see. Bit of safety here. Do you want to take photos or footage? Feel free to get your devices ready. If I look in there, the gold has melted. We've just achieved its melt point, 1064 degrees. But if I bring it out now, it'll be a solid by the time I get over there. It loses its heat very quickly. Now to get around that, the answer is not to work faster. I can't do this any faster, but I can go hotter. So we're going to go way past this melting point, so I've still got enough heat to be able to pour it while it's still in liquid form. So we're going up to about 1200 degrees. And that sort of temperature looks like this. As soon as that gold hits the mould, it cools down even faster, and already we've dropped 300 degrees. So if it went in there at about 1200 degrees, it's down to about 900 degrees now. And 900 degree gold is below its melting point. So we're solid. Really. Absolutely solid. I'll show you that by giving it a hit. But it's still incredibly hot. If you were to touch that, it would take your fingers clean off. Because it's still 900 degrees. 900 degrees on your fingers, or like on the swing stick, instant burn. Now gold cools very quickly, we've just seen it, we lost 300 degrees within seconds. The last can take 3 hours. Gold needs to touch something to get rid of its heat. So let's make it touch something. Cold water. Just like that. There goes all the heat. The water does not even get hot. It's cold. Boils the water, instant steam, all the heat into the air. Gold, safe. Cool it right off. And the end result, instead of having lots and lots of 22 carat dust, we end up with a 24 carat bar. The impurities are just thrown away, they're not kept, we don't want those. Didn't have to remove any today. It was a 24 carat gold bar to start with. I've got 3 kilograms of it here. 3 kilograms, see? About 418,000 of them of Australia's dollars. Right there in my hand. Anybody having their birthday today?
You should go. You should go. You should go.
You have to prove it. You do have to prove it. And if you're willing to prove it, come and see me after this. Folks, thanks for coming along today. I hope you had a fantastic day. Come out and play.